is the life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by, it doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am whole again? Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all, I had a feeling but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all, I had a feeling but the feeling is all gone.
I don't know if you can hear me over the neighbor's air conditioner, but I'm going to give this a shot. It is a beautiful, incredible, exquisite day today. Very much like a summer day, even though it's just the beginning of June. And I hear it's going to get very, very hot. So I'm not sure how much cooking is going to happen today, but maybe a little bit of gardening before the sun comes over to the garden side of the yard. We'll see. For now, I just wanted to say a quick hello and to tell you that I've been talking to a few friends lately who are feeling really, really stuck and finding that extremely unusual because it's spring and summer's coming, and normally around this time of year they feel really excited and inspired and motivated, and it's kind of a strange feeling to have all this beauty surrounding you and all this life and new growth and to not be on that same page. And I'm not sure what's going on. I definitely feel it also. And while I feel wonder and awe and excitement and inspired by small things, it's not the same feeling. I don't have that same drive to just jump into things, and I don't feel bombarded with all kinds of ideas, and I feel like it takes a bit more effort lately. But I definitely find that when I feel this way, the most helpful thing I can do is just give myself a small project to do, a creative project. You can do some messy art or I don't know, just something small. Take some baby steps, and usually, not always, but usually if I start something creative without an external source of inspiration, the thing that I'm working on will start to inspire me. So if any of you are feeling the same way, there's a little tip for you you can try. Otherwise, if you have any suggestions, there's a lot of people feeling this right now. There's a lot. Maybe it's what's going on in the world these days. Maybe it's, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Do you know? Leave a comment below. Let me know if you have any suggestions or, what do you do if you're feeling that way? In the meantime, something that I do find inspiring, of course, this is food related because I'm me, but is that in the spring, finally, some beautiful edible things are growing in the garden. We have rhubarb growing, and there are strawberries growing, and also fiddleheads are in season, which I have a very complicated relationship with because for the longest time they terrified me, to be honest. And it's because everyone says that if you don't clean them really, really well and cook them really, really properly, they can be toxic. But apparently they're also really good for you, and they're quite tasty, and most importantly to me, they're adorable. So it took me a couple of years of buying them, staring at them, and I confess just not doing anything with them until they were too old to eat, and then just composting them before I worked up the courage. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I think it was year 3 of buying them that I finally forced myself to prepare them and to eat them, and they were delicious, and now we eat them every year. But I would be lying if I didn't say I didn't do it with, I don't know what's wrong. It's weird. I have Fiddlehead phobia, but I really like them. So we make them and eat them anyway. They're always great. I did the same thing with kimchi and sauerkraut the first few times I made them. I made them and then I just stared at them and composted them. And I think the second or third time I made them and then I made my girlfriend eat them and she was fine and I still didn't eat it. And then probably the third time's the charm. I made my girlfriend eat it. I didn't make her eat it. She's fearless. Anyway, she ate it. She said it was great. So I ate it also and it was great. And I'm pretty much over that fear now. In fact, a few videos back, I think, there's a recipe for making kimchi. It's really fun. I love doing it. And it's delicious and so good for you. But anyway, we're not making kimchi today. We're making fiddleheads and also a strawberry rhubarb ice cream that I love so much. It has a coconut base. So I hope you enjoy it. Even if you don't have fiddlehead phobia, as I do, it's really important that you clean them really well and that you cook them properly before you eat them. So I cut off the little brown ends and then always clean off the papery bits and any loose bits that are just kind of stuck to them. I usually soak them for about 15 minutes or so. And then I will rinse them probably 3 times, rinse them well before I pre-boil them. And then I will boil them for about 8 to 10 minutes in some lightly salted water. And then I'll switch them to a saute pan and just saute them with a little bit of oil or vegan butter and some salt and pepper for about 5 more minutes. They should be tender, definitely tender, but not mushy. You don't want them to be soft because then they're just gross. So yeah, and then I'll grate some lemon zest on top when they're done and eat them like that. And they are so good. They're so delicious. Don't let my weirdness about them stop you from trying them. They're really, really good. They're also really high in antioxidants and essential fatty acids, as well as potassium and vitamin C. They have some calcium, some iron, and even some protein. To make the ice cream, I have half of a cup of full-fat coconut milk that I'm going to mix well with 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and I'm going to set that aside. And in a pot, I'm going to warm up about 1.5 cups of full-fat coconut milk and 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. You can use any salt. I add 1/2 cup of agave nectar. I add the cornstarch mixture, and I also add about 1 teaspoon of vanilla, but I pour pretty liberally, so I mean it's about 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then I mix that really well and I heat it up on the stove, not boiling, but just hot enough that the cornstarch starts to thicken the mixture. And you know it's ready when it really easily and thickly coats the spoon. I'm going to cool that down to room temperature and then put that into the fridge for at least 4 hours. It has to be very, very cold before you start the process of turning it into ice cream, so don't skip that step. In the meantime, I will trim and quarter about 1.5 cups of strawberries, and I will also slice about 1 cup of rhubarb. and I will put that in a saucepan with some sugar, about a 1/4 cup of sugar, and I will heat that until the strawberries and rhubarb start to become quite soft. The strawberry rhubarb mixture also is going to go into the fridge to cool. I use my ice cream making attachment on my KitchenAid, so if you have an ice cream maker, you can just follow the instructions that you have. But if you don't have one, you can just pour it into a freezer safe container and pop it into the freezer. I had a ton of extra rhubarb left over, so I also threw together a really quick cake with some egg replacer, a little bit of sugar, a bit of melted butter, some vanilla, of course, a bit of flour, some baking powder, and some baking soda. I poured that all into a springform pan that was greased, and then I just layered my sliced rhubarb on top of the cake batter and popped that in the oven. So easy, so good. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. It means so much to me. And if you are a Patreon subscriber, thank you so much for believing in this work that I'm doing, for being a part of it, for helping to make it possible. And if any of you want to work with me, either in person here in Montreal or virtually from wherever you are, there is a booking link in the description below for consultations for naturopathy and nutrition. I will see you all next week. And in the meantime, take really, really, really good care of yourselves. Bye.